Set's challenge will be the hardest. Are you ready?
I am ready. Where Wanda failed, I will succeed.
That's my hunter. Good luck, dear.
That is something.
If you remember from the last trial, I told you that Hippus was consumed by his brother, Set, who absorbed his power. It was this betrayal that showed the Elder Gods, including Chthon, the path towards their own corruption.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago. Now that's... ever facing you.
I don't think we'll be seeing any Serpent Men, but in his heyday, Set created his own personal army, much like Lilith and her children. He seemed to have an unusual fascination with Earth's various reptile species.
There is no escape. You were too weak for this fight. They cannot possibly match your strength. This should help. You have Take advantage while they focus on me.
If you believe everything an old witch will tell you, when the now corrupt Set descended upon the Earth, he used the prevailing reptiles of the time, dinosaurs, to create his physical form.
The light will carry you onward. This shall be of great help. Leave some for the rest of us.
Unfortunately for those lumbering beasts, when Autumn came to destroy Set, the ensuing battle lasted for thousands of years and drove them to extinction alongside their fallen admirer.
The untold price of being favored by the Elder Gods. Leave some for the rest of us. I will make this right. Your mother abandons you. As a child, I feared the servants of Lilith. Now I teach them to fear me. my call.
I wouldn't go so far as to say Set is pleased, but I'm sure you've piqued his interest.
He does not seem interested in breaking that. If it was here, Autumn would show me. Set revels in his blessing. Autumn reveals all.
Break the wall, Hunter. I will be right here. After.
Nothing can stand in his way. Sarah?
Of all the things you weren't expecting, finding me here had to be near the top of the list.
Have you been following me?
On the contrary, kiddo, I think it's you that's been following in my footsteps. Speaking of which, have you been enjoying the trials? I'm not sure how you found your way down that path, but you've obviously impressed the gods, just like your mother and I did.
You are being much calmer than I expected about all this.
You aren't the first member of your family to sneak away and attempt the trials. I remember raising more than a few eyebrows on my run.
This from the favored daughter of Ashtur?
I always respected Ashtur, especially compared to some of her siblings.
And my mother?
I think she saw something of herself in Autumn, but she was never one to flatter the gods.
She seems to have no issue kneeling to Chthon.
Is that really what you believe, Hunter?
No, there is clearly more to her. Our story.
I'm glad you already see that. It will make this easier.
The actual truth?
If you've come this far, then there's really no point in hiding it anymore.
This place, sealed and hidden away beneath my mother's garden. This was you again. Something else you wanted to lock away.
Would you believe it's because I've been a stubborn old woman for far too many centuries?
Yes.
This may be difficult to understand given what you've been told, how you were raised. But your mother isn't the bastion of evil the world knows her to be.
Yes, I know she was not the mother of demons when she was with my father.
There's more to it than that. I told you of her work to find a cure for his illness. There was nothing she could do, and when he passed, she accepted his fate. But then, the corruption came for you.
I was sick? I do not remember that at all.
I'm not surprised, given the cure. You were so young, so vulnerable. Lilith was inconsolable. If she had been desperate to heal your father, she was now completely unhinged when it came to curing you.
But she did find a way.
We had thought to bury it in this place forever, safe from not just the greedy eyes of petty men like Shaw, but from ourselves.
The Darkhold.
Yes, and sensing your mother's desperation, the damn thing called out to her. There within its pages, Lilith found a way to protect her child, straight from the Great Shadow himself, Chthon. And as payment, she pledged her eternal devotion to him, reborn as the mother of demons.
She gave herself to Chthon for me?
You were her only child, and she loved you more than anything else in this world. In her mind, it was no sacrifice at all. You were all that mattered.
And you still let me believe she was a monster?
For your protection, I only let you see her as she is now.
But what she became...
What she became, I barely recognized. She may have been your mother, but there was no way she could be your mother ever again.
And so you cast her out?
She was weakened from the transition. Some part of her soul still struggling with the corruption infecting her, I suppose. I knew I would only have the moment, and so I struck, drove her from the Abbey. From you. It was the only way I could protect you. In my mind and in my heart, I believed that the Lilith I knew would have done the same.
But then she came back.
Yes, it took her years, but she finally returned. Of course, by then, she had become something far different. The rest, as you know, is history. Until now. I thought by sealing this place, by avoiding the truth, that it would somehow make all of this easier. But I also knew someday we would have this conversation.
I need time to think about all of this.
I know it's a lot to consider. I don't expect you to take everything I've said at face value.
Thank you for finally sharing the truth, Sarah.
Thank you for listening, kiddo. I know it's late, but we really must talk about the reality of you wielding that weapon. The God Killer certainly turned out to be more than we bargained for, didn't it? First, we discover its hilt is made from a member of the Blood. Then, Strange comes to the conclusion that the blade is constructed from the very primordial evil god we are trying to prevent from devouring this dimension.
In the words of that cult 20th century play and film adaptation, the God Killer is made of people!
I think you meant to say made of dead immortals and elder gods. But all joking aside, the grotesque origins of the blade isn't what concerns me about it. It's its danger. To you. I fear that its connection to your collar is a way Cathan could exploit its fissure and break it completely. You saw how the blade reacted to you. I'm afraid it was calling to the darkness within you. Darkness I know you've worked hard to suppress. I just don't want to see you consumed by it like your mother was.
Perhaps the God Killer's reaction to me is a signal that it has finally found its owner.
That's what I'm afraid of. I already lost a sister to darkness. I don't want to lose a child to it, too. Forgive an old woman her fears.
Darling, you're moping.
I'm not moping. I am deeply concerned.
Do you think the hunter isn't ready?
Well, no.
And the heroes you brought together, do you expect them to fail?
Of course not.
Then the only one left to doubt is yourself. Was all of this, everything you built here, a waste of time?
No, it was time well spent.
Exactly. Then quit moping.
I missed you so much.
Of course you did. I'm delightful. And if you hadn't, I would haunt you till the end of time.
Aren't you haunting me right now?
You saw right through me.
Oh, Agatha.
Careful, my dear. Never speak ill of the dead.
Is this how we spend our next millennium?
I certainly hope so.
As do I.
Set is in good humor today.
Always on the hunt, right?
Autumn thinks otherwise.